Hi you two, I hope you're all well and I hope you've had a brilliant Easter holiday. So this morning I read to you a new book called Amazing Animal Journeys, which is our new non-fiction text. We would have been starting that if we were at school, so I thought it made sense for you to be doing it at home too. When I was reading the story, I thought, there's quite a few words in here that some children might not understand. So I thought what would be a really good first lesson would be to explore some of our new vocabulary by making our very own dictionary. Now, while I was reading the book, I found some words that I thought we might not understand. And the words that I picked out were migrate, mammal, amphibian, reptile, swarm, island, and algae. Now, some of you might know what some of those words mean, and some of you might not know what any of those words mean, and that's okay, and we're going to explore them today, like I said, by making our own dictionary. So what you will need is a piece of paper, a ruler, a pen or pencil. I'm going to use a pen because it shows up better on camera, but you might want to use a pencil in case you make a mistake, a rubber for your mistakes, and a pair of scissors. So pause this video now and go and get your equipment and come back. So the first thing that we are going to do to make our dictionary is we're going to fold our piece of paper in half. So make sure you've matched the corners up and then push the edge down, and you should end up with something that looks like this. So again, if you want to pause the video and fold yours and then come back. Now, there are 7 words, but my ruler is quite thick, so I can only fit about 5 on, but hopefully if you've got a thinner ruler, you might be able to fit 7 lines on. So what we're going to do, you're going to put your ruler right at the top of your piece of paper, if I can get it straight. I wouldn't be a very good Blue Peter presenter. There we are. So you're going to get your ruler at the top, and then with your pen or pencil or whatever material you've got, you're going to draw a line from one side to the other. And you should end up like this. And you're going to do that all the way down your piece of paper. So while I'm drawing all my lines, if you want to make a start, so you need 7 boxes hopefully, but if you can only do 5, then that's absolutely fine. So I'm going to carry on doing mine while you start yours. If I finish before you, just pause the video so that you don't don't miss the next step. Okay, so when you've finished, you should end up with something that looks like this. And make sure it opens like a book, because for your next step, we're going to cut it, but we're only going to cut 1/2 of the piece of paper. So it kind of flaps open and you've got a bit underneath that you can do your writing on or your definition of the word. So you need to get your scissors for this part, and make sure you're not cutting this bottom bit here, you're just cutting the top. So you're going to use your scissors and you are going to cut along the line until you get to your folded edge, like so. So when you open it, it flaps open and it's got a part underneath. You need to do that for all of your lines now. So I'm going to carry on while you start to cut your lines on your dictionary. Make sure you cut as carefully as you can on those lines, otherwise the lines underneath aren't quite going to match up. Okay, so I finished mine, but if you haven't, just pause the video so that, again, you don't miss the next step. So what you need to do, you need to open up the first flap on your book, and you need to draw a line underneath. So get your ruler again. So where it meets the next piece of paper, get your ruler and draw a line across here. and then when you open it up, you should end up with a line underneath that you can write your definition on. So you need to do that for all of the other bits of paper. So again, I'm going to carry on. This is your opportunity to start drawing your lines. And when you're finished, you should, once you've opened it all up, you should end up with something like this. So that when you open it up, your definition can go underneath. So now we need to write the words that we're going to be exploring on our dictionary. So if you can't remember the ones that I said on the video, have a look at your worksheet for today and the words are on there, and I'll say them again for you now. So they are migrate, mammal, amphibian, reptile, swarm, island, and algae. So I'm going to take the first one and I'm going to write it on the first part of my dictionary. It goes on the outside, so the word that you're exploring goes on the outside and the definition of the word goes on the inside. Okay, so on the front of mine here, I'm going to write the word migrate. Now you might want to do this in different colours, you might want to do it in bubble writing, or you might simply just want to do it in pencil. The brighter it is, the more eye-catching it is, and the more likely you are going to revisit your dictionary. But just for speed, I've done mine just in a pen on the front. You're then going to open it up, and this is where you're going to need a dictionary. Now, I don't have a dictionary at home. What I use is a dictionary online. So I'm just going to flip my camera around and I'm going to show you the one that I use. It's called www.dictionary.com/browse. So if I just take the camera and turn it around, and the screen that you see should look something like this. And you can see here at the top, this is where you type in your word. So our first word would be migrate. So you're going to type in the word migrate. And then we are going to click search or press enter. And then the word should, if you can see it on my screen, should come up in this corner here. I'm really not great at making these videos, so I'm sorry if you couldn't see that. But it says, the definition says, to go from one country, region or place to another. So that would be where an animal, say an animal likes hot places, so it may live in England in the summer when it's nice and hot, but then when it gets to the winter and it's cold, it might move to a hotter place. So it would migrate to a hotter place to live in a hotter climate. So what you will do now, you will copy that definition onto this part of your paper here. So underneath your word migrate, you will pop it underneath here. You will then repeat that step for all of your other words down your dictionary. So what you should end up with is between 5 and 7 words on the front, however many you could fit on. And then when you open it up, you should have a definition for those words. Now it's really important that you keep hold of this dictionary, because as we move on through the term, looking at our Amazing Animal Journeys book, you will need to refer back to some of these words. So when you've made it, make sure you keep it nice and safe. I really hope you've enjoyed this tutorial this morning, and please send me pictures of your dictionaries because I would love to see them. Again, if you need any help, please send me a message and I can help you. Okay, good luck.